My name is Leanne Armitage, and I was the winner of the Rising Star Award. I think there are definitely misconceptions regarding being a younger than average trustee in the UK. On the boards of most charities, trustees tend to be people who are a lot more experienced in their careers and they take up these roles later on in life. I read a statistic which showed that half of the world's population is under the age of 30, which means that most of the beneficiaries of charities are young people. So having a young person on the board who is able to give insight and to view things from a different perspective can be very valuable. It's just very important to have diversity at any leadership level, and that includes diversity of age. My vision was not to become a trustee or to co-found a charity or any of these things. I kind of fell into it. The beginning of my journey, when I co-founded my own charity, I became a trustee through doing that, and this was something that came from my heart. It was like my baby that I was growing and nurturing, and so stepping into the role of trustee at that stage wasn't as challenging because it felt like a natural extension of what I was already doing, but generally it wasn't too much of a steep learning curve. More recently, when I joined the board of trustees at Nolan, that has definitely been a biggest or a larger step outside of my comfort zone. It's a much larger charity. They have an annual turnover of more than £50 million, and their board is made up of largely senior leaders who've got decades of experience in their respective fields. And so as a young trustee who lacks that those years of experience and who's coming from a very different background, I did feel quite intimidated about joining the board, especially because I'd be on the board alongside medical doctors and professors who've got they're my seniors in the medical realm as well, but being all at the same level as trustees, it was something that I needed to get used to. But I would encourage people to never hesitate to become trustees because of that, because there's still a lot of value that you can add even though you're a young person and you're coming from a different background. Being on the board of Nolan, I do feel like my presence has made an impact. I feel like because I'm coming from such a different background to most of the other trustees, perhaps the questions that I might ask or the ideas that I might have might be quite different, and being able to give my insights and my contributions has always felt quite fruitful or enjoyable, because sometimes we discuss things that they might not have thought of, or I can suggest things that they might not have considered. Receiving the Rising Star Award was such a privilege. Whenever I receive an award or have recognition for the work I do, I always feel a deep sense of honor, because I didn't do any of the stuff that I'm doing to receive awards. I did it because I believe in the cause and it's stuff that I'm passionate about. So receiving recognition for that is something that I'm really grateful for. It's wonderful to also know that the award was recognizing me as a rising star, because I'm still at the early stages of my journey, so it just feels so reassuring, because it's almost like you're being cheered on whilst you're on a marathon, and that really encourages me to continue working towards the vision that I have for the Armitage Foundation, and just to continue with the work that I'm doing for Nolan.